How's it going, y'all? Maui here. I hope you guys are having a great day, because today I'm showing you the deck list that I actually 3-0'd my locals with. Is going to be the Darklord Despia deck. If you haven't subscribed already, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more stuff like this, then let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to start off this video right here. We're just going to open the packs that I just won using the deck that I'm going to show you today. Now, my locals was very generous. They're trying to promote the local scene, so they gave out extra prize support. So I got 2 OTS 13s and I got 5 19s. So we're just gonna open this real quick and see what we get. I don't even know what's in Final Mission Rescue, Dimensional Prison Exceed Unit. I don't know what's in these two packs. So I'm gonna just rip them open real quick. Armless Trap Hole and Scrap Golem. I'm actually gonna use this. Hold on. Okay, let me use that in a dino build I'm gonna make later. But onto these OTS 19s. I don't think I'm gonna pull any ultis because at the local somebody pulled a skill drain, so I don't think I'm gonna pull anything. That is Dissolver. That's fine. Let's see what else we got in here. Shadow Guard and Pain Painter. Red Reboot, RIP, just got banned. Another Pain Painter. Oh my lord. Give me one ulti. If I don't get one ulti, I'm gonna actually be kind of sad. But not really, because I actually won. I got a slime token. Ew. Last pack. Show us some love. Mass token. Okay, that's fine, whatever. So to start off this little deck list, I started off with 3 Darklord shells. In order to play the Darklord engine, you have to see this card at least 1 out of 3 times. You run 3 because it's actually your draw power, and without that card, you basically aren't doing anything in this in the game. That's why I fused together the Darklord and the Despia package, because Darklords by themselves, once you get ashed once, you basically like ending your turn on nothing on board. I'm also running 2 Superbias. I don't run 3 Superbias because if you see it in your opening hand too often, it's just basically a break unless you can get it into the graveyard. That's why you have more eggshells than Superbias. And in order to search those Superbias, I also have 2 Indulged Darklords. I only have 2 Indulged Darklords, and I subbed one out for a different card that I'm about to show you later. The only reason I have 2 Indulged Darklords is because, 1, I can search it off of a spell card that I will show. 2, if you get 2 in one hand, basically you normal summon 1, you can't use the effect until the next turn. Next, I have the Capricious Darklord. I took out one of the Indulged Darklords for the Capricious because it's really a tech choice. Capricious, when it gets sent from the field to the grave, everything on your opponent's side of the field lose 500 attack and defense for each fairy monster on the field. And with Darklords plus Despia, you can get a lot of fairies on the field really fast, especially in turn 1. Also, for my other 1-ofs, I have Teslapoka. Darklord Teslapoka is also another tech choice for when you get Indulged effect on your opponent's turn. You search the Teslapoka, free out to any big board breakers such as Lightning Storm or Raigeki or Dark Hole. You could just pitch the Teslapoka so all of your fairies or Darklord cards won't get destroyed. It doesn't work for the Despia cards because they are Despia, and it basically reads Darklord on the card. But it can protect your first Darklord, your Morning Stars, your Indulged, your Shells, anything you put on the field during your opponent's turn. You can search this card off the Indulged, and you can basically have a free negate on a board breaker. Another I have a Darklord Ukobak. Basically, for the Indulged Darklord's effect, you have to give your opponent a card as well as searching whatever you need for your combos. So I basically have Ukobak and the Capricious Darklord, just in case I have to keep recycling the Indulged Darklord's effect. And the last one for the Darklord monsters is going to be the Darklord Morningstar. Everyone knows why this is here. You can either normal summon it to start pitching your stuff to the grave, or you can use it as fusion material for your first Darklord, and it wipes your entire opponent's board, no target. It just blows up the entire board, spells, traps, and all that. So you use the Morningstar as fusion material into your first Darklord. You can pop the entire board and swing for 4K. It's really, really good. Now, for our small Despia package, for the monsters, I do run 3 Alibers. If you see Aliber in your starting hand, it's basically a no-brainer to normal summon Aluber to get your field spell on board so you can just fuse from the hand. I only run 1 Dramaturge of Despia. Dramaturge allows me, when I fuse with it, because it is a fairy, I can fuse with the first Dark Lord as well. It can come back to the field and negate any extra deck monsters that your opponent wants to summon on their turn. I have 1 ad libitum just in case I get put into a grind game. It hasn't shown up as much, but I have it in there because I always have a feeling that I would get out grind gamed, and ad libitum is just really good against those later games. And also, I only run 1 tragedy. Want to pitch it off of the Foolish Burial or the Allure of Darkness that I have in the deck, and I will show you guys how many of those I have as well. And I just wanted to get that off. It's basically another tech card. Anything I have 1 of is basically, it's always situational for me. And speaking of situational cards, I only run 2 hand traps because this is a very combo heavy deck. And my choice of hand trap right now is most definitely only 2, but 2 DD Crows. The reason I have DD Crows is because they basically stop the best 2 decks in the format, Sprite and Tier Elements. Tier Elements basically passes turn if you open a DD Crow or a D Shifter. Right now, I can't play D Shifter because the Dark Lord cards really want to stay in the graveyard. They don't want to get banished as much. So I run the DD Crow for the big, powerful big boy matchups. I'm actually only running 18 monsters in the main deck right now. I had a lot of side deck options, and I took them out basically because they were underperforming. Also, I did say in my last vlog that I was playing the branded engine in this deck, and I took it out because mainly once you see those branded cards, you really can't do nothing else but Mirror Jade and then pass turn because your hand is so full of the branded engine. But onto the spells that I have, I actually run 3 Allure of Darknesses. Darkness, don't care. I run 3 Allure of Darkness because as it is a combo deck, you really want a lot of draw power. Also, people don't really use Ash anymore because of how poor it runs against the best decks in the format. They really can just eat Ash and just keep going. So Allure of Darkness is a really good card to run 3 of right now because they're not going to Ash that. Even if they side deck for it, they're not going to Ash it. They're going to try to Ash something else. So you're going to draw your 2 cards, banish a Dark Monster. Hopefully you have Tragedy in hand. If you don't, you just pitch one of your Dark Lord cards that won't do anything until you combo off, and then you just get your draw 2. And then I'm going to run some Dark Lord cards here. We got 3 Banishment of the Dark Lords. Banishment is another way to get your Eggshell in hand in order to start comboing off. So you have 3 Eggshells, you have 2 Indulged, and you have 3 Banishments. So you're basically looking at 8 forms of draw power or combo starters. And then we're going to round it off with the Dark Lord spells. We're going to run 3 Dark Lord contacts. Basically, you want contact either in hand or in graveyard to start comboing off. You use contact to special summon your Superbia. Your Superbia will special summon something else. If you put it in a chain, Superbia will miss timing, so you got to watch out for that. But contact in grave as well as in hand is really, really good. All of the Dark Lord monsters, they basically state that you take 1,000 life points in order to copy a Dark Lord spell or trap in grave. So contact is really good. Unfortunately, if you use that effect to copy the contact in grave to special the Superbia, Superbia will also miss timing. So be on the lookout for that. And for our Despia cards, I run 3 of the field spells because people are running a lot of spell trap removal because of Mystic Mind right now. So I just need to keep seeing this Despia Theater branded because it really gets me into my first Dark Lord very, very quickly, and also protects my monsters from, it protects me from getting straight up blown out or like my whole board getting blown up, and then it just brings back whatever you need from the grave. I'm only running 2 branded openings. The only reason I'm running 2 branded openings is because I can basically search it off of Aluber if I really, really want to or need to get the Dramaturge out. So we only have 2 of those. These next 2 cards are really good. They've helped me a lot during that little 3-0 run I had at locals. And it's going to be the 2 super polymerizations. If you draw super poly and you get a good little board going, and you set it. Some people aren't running heavy back row removal, they're just running spot removal. So if you have DESPIadeck or the branded, they'll just use it on that, and then they'll just leave your super poly to sit back. As long as you got a card in hand, you can pop the super poly. Super poly actually helped me a lot during the Sky Striker matchup that I've seen. Last week I went against Sky Strikers and he tried to like Widow Anchor my Dramaturge, and then I basically super polyed it so it fizzles out. And it's a really good card against strategies that like to take your monsters or like blow up the board before you can do anything. So you just use super poly for all of those fusion monsters that you have in the deck. And I'm also running one branded in red. To be honest, branded in red is not a sought after card that I have in the deck right now, but it's helped me out in tough times when the grind game is really heavy. One of the one-ups is terraforming. You can only run one. So you have 3 field spells plus a terraforming, so you basically have 4. Plus you have 3 Alubers, so you're definitely getting that Theater of the Branded out very, very fast. I have the 1 Foolish Burial to get the... basically, Foolish Burial is for tragedy. Basically for nothing else. If you use it, Foolish Burial for anything else, I don't think you're going to have a good game. I'm also running the 1 Call by the Grave. It actually helped me out because people are signing in Ghost Bells now. So you have Call by the Grave, or you have a lot of people using graveyard effects. You use your Call by the Grave to protect yourself and to gain advantage on the opponent. So for this next card, I actually put it in as a tech choice. I was thinking of not putting it in because it is limited to 1. But for that 3-0 run that I actually had, it really came up super big because no one knows what levels your monsters truly are. So I'm running the 1 Reasoning. And reason being because when I draw this in first hand, going first, I activate the Reasoning. Opponents are going to say 3 or 4. That's why I'll pull back on the Indulged Darklords, the Ukobak, and the Capricious. I actually have a limited number of those cards because the rest of them are like level 12, 11, 10, and 9. So use Reasoning. They call out a number. You get all of your Darklord stuff in the grave as well. And you get a special summon right off the bat. And then you can start using things. That's going to be it for the spell category. I only run 3 traps and they're all Darklord traps. I haven't cited in any other traps because... right now, I haven't gone against Tier or I haven't gone against Sprite, so I haven't really used D-Barrier or anything like that. But for the trap game, I'm using 1 Darklord Rebellion, 1 Darklord Enchantment, and 1 Darklord Uprising. Now, a lot of people don't use Uprising in their strategies because they can just fuse with the DESPIadeck or the branded. But when you don't have access to any of the Despia cards or your Despia engine because you drew all Darklords, Darklord Uprising is a really good card to put in the graveyard in order to activate with Ish Shells or Teslapoca's effect in order to fuse into the first Darklord on your opponent's turn. I'm also running Darklord Rebellion and Enchantment because those are Darklord cards as well, and they can be copied or can just be set to the field. Rebellion is a pop, and Enchantment is just, you're going to just take control of a monster until the end of the turn. So it's basically... these traps are basically for the control game. If you're like low on resources and you need like an out, you just have a control game to keep your opponent at bay from using any monster effects on their turn. Now that's going to be it for the main deck. I have a lot of spell cards, trap cards, and monsters. I'm pretty sure it's a 43 card deck. Now we're going on to the extra deck. Now this extra deck is really, really good for the deck that I've put together. For right now, I have 2 of the first Darklords. This 4K Peter gets over almost anything that doesn't add or lose attack points. I went against a Heroes deck last time I played this deck, and it kept going over the DPE. Also, the first Darklord makes all of your fairies untargetable, which is also good. So they're going to have to use like Omni Negates, like non-targeting negates in order to get rid of your board. And for the Despian package, I am running 1 Masquerade. I might bump it up to 2 because I have the free space. They put in a lot of work against heavy combo decks because they're going to lose 600 each time they activate an effect, whether it be spell, trap, or monster. So they'll just lose a lot of life points, and it will discourage them from going any further than they need to or want to in order to get over your first Darklord or whatever you have on board. Now, for the mirror match, I have the Despian Proskinian. The Despia and Proskinian is only there for the mirror match or to use Super Poly on it for the mirror match, like I said. And that's the only reason it's there, is a Super Poly target, to be completely honest. And for the rest of the Despian package, I have 2 Despian Quateris. Now, this card actually won me a couple of games because Quateris, you can, all of your fusion monsters are level 8 or higher, so its effect doesn't affect those monsters, especially the 4K first Darklord. It turns everything else to attack to 0. Fusion summon big boys and just swing overhead. Also, if it leaves the field because of the opponent's card effect, you can add to your head or special summon a Despia monster from your deck. That's another way to get the 1-of Dramaturge as well. Now, for the other 2 Super Poly targets, I do have a Starving Venom Fusion Dragon and a Predator Plant Dragostapelia. Those are like the main staples for using Super Poly because they're just really good. Predator Plant Dragostapelia straight up negates a monster or a quick effect. Now, the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon is a really good tech card with this deck because if you give your opponent a Darklord card and copy their effect plus their attack, you can also copy any Darklord spell or trap in the grave as well and keep using the Darklords and just keep recycling them. That's why I actually use this card very often to copy whatever I give the opponent, and if they don't use it, I just keep going. All right, now we're done with the fusion monsters. Let's get into the 4 link monsters that I actually do have and run. So the first one is going to be Nightmare Phoenix. I only run Nightmare Phoenix for the Nightmare package just to spot remove any back row. I can't use it against Mystic Mind, but it is really good against the back row game. I'm also running a Nightmare Unicorn to spin something into the deck, something like DPE or something of greater value that your opponent needs that keeps using it for the grind game. I use Nightmare Unicorn. I also use Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess because it is also a fairy, so the first Darklord makes it untargetable, and you can easily make this a 4 negate Appaloosa with the Darklord cards. And I'm also using the 1 Condemned Darklord. I might go get another one for grind game purposes. If you link off to the Condemned Darklord, you can use his effect to normal summon by attributing the cards in the graveyard and banishing them, so you can easily normal summon the Darklord Morningstar with the greatest of ease. And that's going to be it for the deck list I have for today. As for the extra deck, I'm only running 12 slots, so you have 3 to play with if you want to put in anything like a Dragubleon or a number 100 Dragon to OTK. That's cool if you want to do that. I might fill it in with some more things, but I think it's perfect the way it is. The only thing wrong with the Darklord cards is they don't have a Darklord monster that gains an effect by being pitched to the graveyard to pair with yugioh. But other than that, it's a really good deck. You can make the first Darklord with the greatest of ease, and you can just swing over your opponents as a 4K beater. If you guys really like this video, comment, like, and or subscribe. Let me know if you want to see other decks like this. I have a lot of deck profiles for the rogue deck category. I don't play tier, I don't play sprite, I don't play anything that's in the top meta right now. The only reason I'm finally able to play Despia in the Darklord package is because they're not $100 anymore. So I can get Alubers for pennies on the dollar at this point. But if you guys really like the video, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want next week, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.